Hi, this is chapter 12.1 in which we will see the basic details about e-way bill. We will see removal of check post and its benefits, section 68 as well as rule 138 requirements, filling part A of e-way bill and consignment value as well as situations where e-way bill is required. See, on GST implementation, the biggest advantage the taxpayers have enjoyed is removal of check posts. Taxpayers, transporters, and everybody was suffering these headaches of check posts for last several years, say for more than 52 years. So this image itself shows that the truck drivers had to stand in queues and they had to pay various bribes or such payments to the various parties. Okay, so, but if you look at now, this is a scenario which is happening. All checkposts are vacant now. There is a better system that was brought in by the government that is called e-way bill. So let us take the advantages of e-way bill. In the developed countries, the trucks were moving more than 400 kilometers in a day. Say in US, it is around 700 kilometers in a day. But in India, before implementation of GST, it was just about 250 or 280 kilometers, mainly because of check post issues. Then, as per World Bank report, truck delays at check post estimated to cost the economy anywhere between 9 billion and 23 billion, that is 900 crores to 2,300 crores like that. So it was affected by truck operating hours. So much time was taken by the transporters from moving the goods from one location to another location. So then again, another thing is bribes. You may be knowing, lot of issues were the rupees 900 to rupees 7,200 crores were paid as facilitation payments. And interestingly, now after implementation of GST, we have removed all these headaches, and now the government is available with a lot of vacant lands also. In Mumbai itself, around 20 acres of land across Maharashtra, the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai has reported that so much land is available. Okay, so let us come to the e-way bill chapter. We will cover section 68 as well as rule 138 rule. So what is e-way bill? See, after removal of check post, there should be some mechanism to track the movement of goods. So that is called e-way bill. The form is EWB01 and that should be generated before movement of any goods. Then benefit of e-way bill system, it is a digital interface, it facilitates faster movement of goods, it will increase the turnaround time of trucks. So one truck that was doing only 3 to 4 trips in a week now can do 7 or 8 trips in a week. And it is also a transparency among all stakeholders in the system, because consignor details, transporter details, consignee details, everything is available in the system itself. Section 68 is regarding e-way bill, and it stipulates that the government may require the person in charge of a conveyance carrying any consignment of goods of value exceeding a stipulated limit to carry a e-way bill. Okay, so if you check rule 138 subsection 1, the value is prescribed at 50,000 rupees. If the consignment value is more than rupees 50,000 in case of movement of goods, either for supply, for reasons other than a supply, or due to inward supply from an unregistered person, all these 3 scenarios are applicable. So e-way bill is a mandatory thing. Clear? And the person who is causing the movement of goods, the taxpayer or the registered person, has to fill the part A of the e-way bill and should move the goods. So the various points from rule 138.1 are as below. Information should be filled in part A by the registered person who is causing the movement of goods. The consignment value should exceed 50,000 rupees. It can be in relation to a supply or other than a supply. Let us see the various examples. Then it can be due to inward supply from an unregistered person also. Then it should be done before movement of goods. E-way bill should be generated before movement of goods. So there are three scenarios. We will have a detailed study. E-way bill is required for supply, reasons other than a supply, as well as inward supply from an unregistered person. Okay, so there are two parts also, part A and part B. Part A should be filled by the registered person who is causing movement of goods, and part B who is transporting the goods. So part A will consist of goods details and part B will consist of transportation details. And we had seen part A should be filled by the registered person. But on an authorization received, transporter or e-commerce operator or courier agency can fill part A of the e-way bill if goods are transported through them. Then let us see, the consignment value should exceed 50,000 rupees. So you want to know what does a consignment value means. So it includes central tax state or union territory tax or integrated tax or cess charge if any. So GST includes in the consignment value, it should be taken. Then customs duty. So taxes should be included for determining consignment value. Then let us take exclusions. The value of exempt supply of goods should not be taken. Exempt supply of goods. Then you should not take the value of services if invoice is issued for both for goods as well as services. So this table you should remember when you are calculating the consignment value of 50,000. Then please note that in these following scenarios, 50,000 value is not applicable. Interstate transfer of goods by principal to job worker. Suppose there is a principal in Maharashtra, job worker is in Gujarat. So if he is transferring some goods worth rupees 10,000 only, still e-way bill is required. Then interstate transfer of handicraft goods, still value is not considered. E-way bill is a mandatory thing to do. Then let us take a case study. You are the accounts manager of Messrs. Excel Traders located in Hyderabad. You need to send the goods to the below parties. You need to analyze the transactions and confirm whether e-way bill is required to be issued or not. Also mention whether which document should be carried. Goods of value rupees 45,000, that is Hyderabad, GST at 18% to be charged extra. So whether e-way bill is required? Yes, because including GST, the value becomes 53,100. So it is exceeding rupees 50,000 consignment value. Okay, GST should be added. So e-way bill is a mandatory in that case. Then let us take B. Goods of value 68,000, which consists rupees 32,000 towards taxable goods and 36,000 towards exempted goods. So we had seen in the earlier table that the value of exempted goods should be excluded. Clear? So here the value of taxable goods comes after GST at rupees 35,840 only. Okay. So here e-way bill is optional. Why? The value of exempted goods should not be taken. So in such case e-way bill is not mandatory, it is optional only. Then the scenario, see here we were discussing on supply of goods and consignment value is 50,000. Let us take the second scenario for reasons other than supply of goods. So here what can be such scenarios? Any idea? So here the movement of goods due to job work, replacement under warranty, recipient not non or line sales, supply of liquid gas, supply returns, exhibition, on use, sale on approval. All these are the scenarios which warrant e-way bill. These are not supply, but still movement of goods is there. So e-way bill is mandatory. So which document should be carried? If it is a supply, you can carry either tax invoice or bill of supply in case of exempted goods. But in case of movement of goods other than a supply, you should carry a document that is delivery challan. Clear? So it is a mandatory document. So it is a mandatory document. The delivery challan has to necessarily contain the value of goods as per Rule 55 of the CGST Rules 2017. The value given in the delivery challan should be adopted in the e-way bill. Coming to the case study, being accounts manager at Messrs Excel Traders, analyze requirement of e-way bill in the below situations. Also mention other documents if required. Company is participating in an exhibition. Okay, exhibition in Hyderabad, and has put a stall. Goods to be moved for the same location of invoice value of rupees 55,000. Then goods of value rupees 74,000 sold to Kishore was returned by him. So it is a sales return. Then goods of invoice value of rupees 68,000 sending to Farewell Exporters. But they will accept the goods only after checking the quality. So it is a supply on return basis. Okay. Sale on approval. Okay. So in all these cases, it is not a supply. Clear? So the delivery challan should be carried as well as e-way bill should be carried. So both documents should be carried, not tax invoice or bill of supply. And in all these cases, value of supply is more than 50,000. Then the last point you want to take here is the third scenario. Okay, so we had seen supply of goods and for reasons other than supply of goods. Now we will see the movement of inward supply from unregistered person. So if there is a movement from unregistered person to a registered person, and registered person know that such movement is taking place, then e-way bill should be generated. So the conditions are where the goods are supplied by an unregistered supplier, it is caused by the such recipient who is registered, and the recipient is known at the time of commencement of movement of goods, then e-way bill is mandatory. So a recipient is known and is registered, e-way bill is required. Let us look at the table. Recipient is known and is unregistered, so e-way bill is not required. Then recipient is unknown, then it is not required. So this is a scenario. The e-way bill should be generated only when it is known and it is registered recipient. Then case study. You are the accounts manager of Messrs Excel Traders. You got a telephone call from Mr. Lal, a farmer, informing that he is bringing some goods for sale to the company. So he is informing. The goods value is rupees 60,000. What is the requirement for accepting the goods? If Mr. Lal directly brings the goods without informing, whether your answer will be different. It is an inward supply to the registered person from an unregistered person. As Mr. Lal had informed us that he is bringing the goods, we need to generate an e-way bill. The e-way bill should be generated by Messrs Excel Traders. In that case, if the seller is informing to Messrs Excel Traders that he is bringing goods, then e-way bill is compulsory. But if he didn't inform, then there is no need of e-way bill. Hope it is clear. Then let us look upon some more important points which are related to part A of e-way bill. Part A of e-way bill once generated cannot be modified. On furnishing of part A unique number will be generated on the portal which shall be valid for 15 days for updating of part B of form GST EWB01. The information furnished in part A of the e-way bill will be made available to the registered supplier on the common portal, and he can use it for GSTR1 return filing. Then, when the information has been furnished by an unregistered supplier or an unregistered recipient in form GSTWB01, he shall be informed electronically if the mobile number or email is available. So, unregistered recipient, he will get a notification or information through mobile and email as per rule 138.8. Then the last point, the e-way bill generated will be equally valid in all states across India. Suppose a e-way bill is generated in Maharashtra, it will be valid also in Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Goa, Karnataka, whichever state. Okay, so it is valid across India. Then sub-uses. A taxpayer can create sub-uses for creating and managing e-way bills. So in this chapter, we had seen various points of e-way bill, including the advantages or the changes that brought into Indian economy, and what is the meaning of e-way bill form, GST EWB 01 form, benefits, section 68 as well as rule 138 provisions. Then e-way bill is required in 3 scenarios: supply of goods for reasons other than supply of goods, as well as inward supply from an unregistered person. There are 2 parts, part A and part B. Part A should be filled by registered person or transporter or e-commerce operator or courier on his authorization. Part B by the transporter. The consignment value is fixed at rupees 50,000. Please note, in some states it can be lower or higher. Suppose if you take Delhi, I think it is 1 lakh. So you should check with your SGST law also. Then there are various inclusions and exclusions. Then we have seen case studies also. Then for movement other than a supply also, e-way bill is necessary. Then if it is a supply from an unregistered person to a registered person, and when the registered person knows that such movement is happening, then e-way bill is mandatory. Then we had seen other points which are related to part A of e-way bill. Hope you have enjoyed this chapter and it is clear, and it is practically very much important to know all these provisions. Thank you.